Hello, everybody, and welcome. Good evening, everybody. This is Michael Harris Jr. and the seven-time studio here for Midwest Motorsports. We're here at Iowa Speedway, where we will be doing wow, brain, work with me, the Street Sock Series. I'll be your host this evening here, as the cars are all starting to grid up here. Everybody in pit lane to get started. I'll be your host tonight, with James still out on medical. Just praying for you, James, to get better. Hope the doctors can figure out what needs to happen here, and you're back up here in the booth and hanging out with the Midwest crew. And as the cars start to fall, wow, words. Let's get back to words, shall we? As everybody gets out here on the track, it'll be a short time. So Dustin Reinstedel manages to get second, actually, to get the pole. Jason Huffman second. Third will be Clarence Prince. Fourth, James Levison. Norm will be fifth. Eric Thaler sixth. Seventh will be Ron Schaumer. Eighth, Robert Olevison. And finishing out the field, Chris Thaler in ninth place in the number 7. Well, okay, we get one extra lap. I feel rather silly. But yes, right out here in Iowa for 175 laps. One thing I forgot to do was figure out our fuel mileage here, but these guys have 3 tires set in pit lane in Newton, Iowa. Track is 0.875 miles, so 5/8 of a mile track in the cornrows of Iowa. And because it's under a mile, that means the caution clock is in effect, or the caution limit, whatever you want to call it. I'll call it the caution clock, thank you very much. So if these guys manage 10 cautions, we're done. Anything less, and we're back. Green flag underway here and night and under the lights in Iowa. Dustin Reinstedel having the lead early here as we go into turns 1 and 2. Jason Huffman funnels back into second place. Third, Norm Schneider. Fourth is Clarence Prince. Move on back to Eric Taylor so we can get some action there, as he's got Ron Schaumer on the inside of him. And behind them is Chris Thaler running a new paint scheme. Then James Olevison and Robert Olevison. Slideways goes Clarence Prince and Chris Thaler. Caution is out for the first caution of the night. We at least got one lap in before that happened there. We'll get ourselves back to what happened. It looked like Clarence Prince lost it, got a little slideways in 1 and 2, and Chris kind of followed along with him. A couple more cars got involved there, so let's see what happened. So here they go, side by side. And let's see, let's get to the gearbox. Promise we are not missing any action on the track here. All right, hold on. We are refreshing here. So we've got 3 cars that ended up in the pit lane. I'm doing this without visuals right now. Sorry, folks. Ron Schaumer, James Olevison, and Chris Thaler are in the pits. But as we saw, it looked like there wasn't really any contact. There could have been some slight contact there. All right, we got our cameras back up and running here. Let us go back to the booth real quick. And there we go. Okay, so there was a little bit of contact there. Chris got a bit of a run, a little heavy run, which sent them both spinning. And it looks like Robert was able to get out of that one. So only 2 cars involved in that incident. Let's go back to live action here. So again, 4 cars entered pit road. James Lavison, Robert, Ron Schomer, and Chris Thaler. Other than that, the field's pretty well sorted out. We're currently working our way through lap 5. There's those words again. The lights are still on that pace car, the Ford Mustang pace car. And the lights are now off as they will go ahead and file up. Dustin has decided to take the high line here. And Jason Huffman in the Ford Performance number 4. Mustang on the inside. Norm Snyder sitting there in third place. He will restart third. Eric Thaler will be in 4th place to restart. Clarence Prince back there in 5th. James Lavison in 6th. 7th will be Robert Lavison in the Busch car. Ron Schomer in 7th and 8th. I must have miscounted. But anyway, Chris Thaler's in the back there. Did I miss somebody? Well, either way, this is what it is. Everybody all accounted for, and the pace car is off. Dustin sets them off there. Green flag right underway as they pass the restart zone. Eric Thaler with a big push. It looked like a big push, and now Norm pushing it in to turns 1 and 2. Dustin taking the lead here, coming on out of the corner. A single file here. Another lap of green flag racing. Should be seeing some actual fast times this time by. Currently 25 seconds the fastest lap put down. So obviously these guys can go faster. Qualifying laps were in the 23s. 24.273 just set by Dustin Ryan Settle. So you and I are going to get to find out this time what the pit cycle is going to look like when the cars come on down. Just a reminder once again that these guys have 3 extra sets of Goodyear Eagles sitting in the pit lane waiting for them behind the pit box. So Jason Huffman continues to hover around. Dustin Ryan settle up here in the front. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, why don't we do this here early on after that first caution? We're going to go through the field, the small field today, Sunday night. So let's talk a little bit about these drivers here. And your leader right here, he's led most of the laps here this season, so you're well aware of him. Dustin Ryan Settle of Pikeville, Kentucky. He's driving that Napa number 11 as Jason Huffman makes a move on the inside of turns 3 and 4. Side by side. They're still going to give it to Dustin Ryan Settle. The battle's not over yet. Jason Huffman making the move on the inside. He's got the whole car past him, but is not going to cut in front. Dustin's got the momentum out of the corner, but Jason back down again. He's got the lead right now. Will he slide on up? Cut him off? Not this time. Jason Huffman will get the lap there. iRacing will officially mark that as the first lead change of the night. So Jason Huffman gets around Dustin and Ryan Settle. So Ryan Settle changed car manufacturers a couple seasons ago from Toyota to Chevrolet. And today he's driving the Napa paint scheme, the Napa white paint scheme. Jason gets his second lap led of the night. Speaking of sponsor changes and, well, manufacturer changes, not really, but Jason Huffman driving the number 4 Ford Mustang. He's changed sponsors. At the beginning of the season, it was the John Deere Ford. Now it's the Ford Performance Ford. Guessing John Deere only had a select few races that they were going to sponsor for him. So in the meantime, the manufacturer Ford has decided to step up with their Dark Horse branding and be on the 4 machine for the past couple weeks. Currently has a half-second and gaining lead over Dustin. We'll see how that plays out as we get further and further into the run. And now we're bouncing around a little bit here at the beginning, but now we're on Norm Snyder here, who's in 3rd place, the old sandbagger. Anyway, he's found some good racing skills here in the past couple weeks. Been showing off, getting himself up towards the front, getting himself in the interview spots. And here he is in 3rd place at Iowa Speedway. We'll see if we find him here at the end of the race. He's doing pretty decent right now. Sitting about 1.5 seconds behind Jason Huffman. In 4th place, we have the number 83 Red Bull Toyota Supra, driven by Clarence Prince. Clarence has had a bit of sponsor situation here, but again, finds himself driving the Red Bull scheme, as it looks like he's moved on from Monster Energy. Monster Energy took over sponsorship from Red Bull towards the end of the season last season. Clarence got on a good streak of performances and then started the year off here, Monster Energy once again, and found himself back in a rut. So Red Bull decided to pull him back, get him back in, and now the number 83 is back to having some relatively decent performances since the change. Fifth place, the tire saver extraordinaire, Eric Thaler, the godfather of Midwest Motorsports, his number 15 Ford Mustang, driving for Midwest Motorsports. He's been pretty good with his tire saving skills, and early on we see that again as he's just comfortably riding around the track. Isn't pressuring anybody here early on as we've gone ahead and completed 20 laps of our 175 lap event. We'll see how he goes through the day. Robert Leveson had a fantastic race on Friday night in the number 22 Ford F-150. May not have finished as well as he did midway through the race, but he's improving in his performance here in the league. It was great to see him running 2nd place. Looking forward to see what he has in store for us today. He's back at 6th place. Narrowly avoided the incident earlier on tonight. Further back, we find in 7th place Ron Schamer and his Sunoco Toyota Supra, number 97. Found himself with a couple of great races. He's been doing pretty good this past season. Hoping for the consistency to continue. Maybe even a top 5 performance tonight, or even a podium finish would be great for him. Looking for that steady increase there. Another guy to watch out for in the league. We aren't missing much here through this pass through the field as Jason Huffman has increased his lead to about a 1.2 seconds. 1.1 over Dustin Ryan Settle as we go ahead to the Baja Blast number 90 machine of James Oleveson. Ooh. But anyway, Had a decent performance his last time out here with the Stock Car Series. Pretty good qualifying and practice laps. We're gonna see if he can put this car in a good spot. Top 5 finish would be great for him. Maybe even all the way up in the top 3 would be his ideal look. We'll see how he does as this race continues on. 25 laps complete of 175. And towards the back here, believe it or not, this man put down the fastest lap of practice in the Bills machine. The grandfather of Midwest Motorsports, Chris Thaler. We'll see if he can turn his luck around tonight. If he can get that purple lap, if he can get that car back into peak performance. A little bit of struggle right now, but we will see what happens as the race goes on. And that was your pass through the field, presented by James J. And as we continue on here, Eric Thaler has decided now is the time, this is the place. In this land of confusion, he is challenging Clarence Prince now for 3rd spot. He's already moved up. Norm Snyder starting to fall back a little bit. Earlier on during a pass, we found Norm in 3rd place, down to 5th now. About almost 2 seconds behind these guys. Eric tapping the wall, you don't want to do that. That's going to kill momentum and hamper your handling ability. This is our current closest battle on the track here within 1/10 of a second. Eric's got his nose under the underneath going into turn 3 and 4. Trying to get that stick halfway past the car. They are side by side, bumping and banging. Eric Thaler has the position going past the start-finish line. They're still battling. This war ain't over yet. Clarence Prince hugging him tight, holding him down on the line. Side by side down the backstretch. This is one bruising short track battle here. And once again, they're tight coming out of turns 3 and 4. I don't know how long Eric's going to handle that. His car loosened up there coming out of the corner. Side by side again through this corner. Clarence has a bit of an advantage here, and he's not going to push down on him this time. But he's still got that momentum. He's got the side draft here. This is just back and forth, back and forth. We've seen a couple other battles, and Clarence lays off there instead of forcing the issue. Eric sliding a little bit, coming out of 4. But he will have 3rd place. Next closest battle is actually our fastest lap time. 24:084, set by Robert Olevison. He was trying to catch up to his son, James. And then we have a new battle for the lead heating up. So, right now our battle for the lead is actually a little bit closer than our other battles. Eric's starting to get away here. So we'll pan on over. Dustin Reinsettle. I'm going to ride along with him here in the cockpit view and see what he sees as he tries to chase down that number 4 Ford Mustang. Earlier on during the practice times, we were talking with some of Dustin's spotters and crew and talking about how the driver wasn't really feeling this is his best track. He was just kind of not feeling the pace, not figuring out how to get the fast lap time. And he just wasn't too confident that he's going to have a great day today. But here he is. He's getting ready to battle for 1st place. So clearly he's able to hold on to that pace for the long run. And one of the things that I'm going to highlight here as you continue to get closer and closer is that pit strategy so far this season has been a big difference. What happens down pit lane has really impacted the outcome of a lot of races. We saw it with the Truck Series, several different times. And like I said, the Truck Series on Friday definitely had a big impact. We had a couple guys have some black flags, some big competitors there, and Dustin was able to finish strong because for the most part he's not having those issues there. It can happen to anybody. And then unfortunately, it happens in the heat of the battle. And Dustin has narrowed it down to 0.3 of a second. I'm going to go ahead and hop on out of the cockpit. We're going to head back to, or not. I thought we were going to head back towards the back of the field because we were having another battle going on. I know a lot of people like the lead battle here, but playing cat and mouse. Further back here, we got Ron Schamer and Norm Snyder starting to duke it out. Ron taking the high line out of the corner. Here downs 1 and 2. And Norm still has the advantage here. Coming down past lap 38. Ron's going to have to do another challenge a little bit later on. We're going to head back forward in the field here from Eric Thaler's perspective. As we got the battle for the lead right now. Dustin Reinsettle on the inside. Well, not able to get the momentum there to make the pass, but he had his nose underneath Jason Huffman. Eric Thaler has caught up like lightning in a bottle here, so we got a three-way battle for first place. Dustin on the high line here this time. Backing off a little bit. This gives Eric Thaler time right now to catch back up. Ron Schamer still battling, duking it out with Norm Snyder in the back. Just so you know, we haven't forgotten about you back there. But just unable to make that move. Ford, Chevy, and Ford battling it out for the lead right now. You see the battle box right there. What separates Eric Thaler from the lead is 0.6 of a second. Half that distance there is Dustin Reinsettle. 42 laps complete as we get down the back straightaway here at Iowa Speedway. Eric touches the wall again. He can't avoid it. It's like he's got a date with the wall of destiny. Speaking of destiny, here comes Dustin Reinsettle. Up ahead, still trying to make that low line work. Jason Huffman's figured it out, I think, for this long run. Staying on what looks like the second groove. And it looks like Dustin Reinsettle is going to pit. So we got about 44 laps or so on pit strategy. Dustin's going to come on in. Got 3 tires left. Or 3 sets of tires available to him. And we also got Jason Huffman coming on in, so Eric Thaler will take the lead. That'll be our third change of position, or third lead change of the night. As pit cycles are underway, Jason Huffman and Clarence Prince currently on in the pits. Norm Snyder, the only other car sticking it out. Eric Thaler continues to drive around the racetrack. He's got a 9-second lead, almost a 10-second lead over Norm Snyder, who's currently in second place. Ron Schamer, pit on lap 4. So he's probably going to take over at some point here. Chris Thaler is in. Dustin Reinsettle, Jason Huffman have been lapped. Clarence Prince coming out. He's going to go a lap down as well. Chris Thaler's going a lap down. Ron Schamer is close to Norm Snyder right now, so he might even take the spot from Norm. Norm continues to drive around the track, and so does an Eric Thaler. Now, if these guys go ahead, I've done the math here. No cautions for the rest of this race. they can make it just doing a couple stops on lap 44 and 88 and 132. And they'd have room for 43 more laps, so they'd be able to make that window. So it's interesting to see what Eric's doing right here. Is it possible that we can cut this down and not have to make all those stops? Well, we'll see. We're on lap 50 right now, 49 laps complete. Eric Thaler and Norm Snyder have not pit at all this race. Ron Schamer pit on lap 4 after the caution. James Lavison pit on lap 3 from the caution. Eric coming on in. He is pitting now. What's Norm up to? Well, let's go back and find out. He's going to stay out. Holding Jason Huffman behind him. Dustin Reinsettle has unlapped himself. Jason's still trying to unlap himself. Ron Schamer's in the back, so we now have 4 lead changes on the night. Ron Schamer is going to stick it out, though. And here comes Norm. Norm Snyder's in. Ron Schamer's going to come in. I thought he was going to stay out. James Lavison, he's going to stay out. He's going to take the lead. We've got 5 lead changes now. Most through the pit cycle here. James Lavison has a couple extra laps that he can do. So these guys can get up to 50, 51 laps on fuel. So at this point, it looks like James will be coming in the next lap or two. We will see behind him is the lap car of Robert Olavison, who's 2 laps down, so he'll get a lap back once he passes his son. James going high, letting him go by, it looks like. No use battling with the lap car. Dustin Reinsettle 16 seconds back. Jason Huffman is now 19.9 seconds back. There's a gap of about 4 seconds between Jason and Dustin. Eric Thaler 0.6 of a second behind Jason Huffman. And here comes James Olavison. He's coming down the pits in that Mountain Dew Baja car. Norm Snyder is going to get his lap back. I'm going to show the track map right here as Dustin is passing him now. Dustin Reinsettle regains the lead. 3.5 seconds is his lead over Eric Thaler. Eric passes by Jason Huffman. 2 Fords are out. Now, just to remind the folks at home, 6 extra laps between the two. Dustin did not take tires. He only took fuel. Eric Thaler already already went ahead and got 1 set of tires here. So we'll see the difference here. Now, Dustin put down a 24.988. 25-second lap. Eric Thaler putting down a 24.491. So not a huge difference despite taking tires between the two. So was it really worth it? Don't know, but either way, Eric is starting to reel Dustin in as Dustin's lead is now down to 2.3 seconds. Norm Snyder also taking tires during that pit stop. Clarence Prince joins them, as well as Ron Schamer and the Olavisons. So the only ones that didn't take tires are Chris, Dustin, and Jason. So they'll have an extra set here. 2 sets for most of the rest of the field. That lead now down to 1.5 seconds. So while that's going on, Ron Schamer's got a battle with Clarence Prince. The two Toyota Supras in the field, battling it out in the back straightaway. Ron Schomer has his nose on the inside, going here into turn 3. Turn 4, he's still right there at the quarter panel. Unable to really make any momentum going. So this, by the way, is on the repave of Iowa Speedway. Clarence cutting down a little bit. Excuse me. They're now side by side completely here on turns 3 and 4. And this one, it looks like it was going to Prince still. Oh man, sorry folks. We missed a pass for the lead. Let's go back and see what happened. But Eric finally caught up to Dustin. Looks like right in turns 3 and 4. That's our 7th lead change of the night, as Eric just flies right by him. We'll go back to live action here. Eric Thaler's lead has gone up to 1.2 seconds. Jason Huffman back there, 4 seconds behind Dustin. 6 seconds back of Jason Huffman is Norm Snyder. As you can see on the track map there, that green dot, that's Dustin, who also showed up on the cameras. Behind him is actually not Jason Huffman. That is James Leveson. Fairly certain. I mean, I could go back and see. Yep, that was right. James Leveson, not Jason Leveson. And then that black dot that's getting overtaken by a red dot right now, or battling with a red dot. That is Jason Huffman. Oh, I'm sorry, Jason Huffman's even further back. So ahead of him, it looks like is Chris and Robert Oleveson. So this is still a battle for position, our closest battle on the track. The camera is doing a dance right now as Eric Thaler sets his fastest lap time of the race at 24.283. Chris Thaler, who set the fastest practice time, currently battling with Robert. And Chris Thaler finds the wall. Robert Oleveson's going to get by. Jason Huffman will get by here as well. Damage is not going to help that number 7 car out. Hopefully the Bills for him do better than meeting the wall. Chris is going to go ahead and bring this car on in. Norm Snyder is not going to like seeing that. But during the race for the old folks home, you never know. Shuffling on back to one of his children, Eric Thaler. Continues to lead the race. Speaking of fun and leading things, Ron Schomer set the fastest lap time. The fastest lap time of the race now is 23.947. Sunoco really powering that fast car around the racetrack. We've gone ahead and almost completed a whole 70 laps with 105 to go. Currently 106. The gap between first and second is now a commanding 6.4 seconds. Dustin is continuing to just kind of hold on. And at this point here, Eric could go towards fuel saving. But we'll see. So in theory, as far as pit strategy goes, You could use all three of your sets of tires, change your tires every single time. I'm not sure how the feel of the car has gotten, as I've been driving these cars around Iowa with the new repave. But Dustin, of course, running on original set of tires for 71 laps, 72 laps here. He's still setting 25, just barely over 25-second lap times. While it's not able to keep up with Eric at a good pace, it is still able to keep relatively good with Jason Huffman behind him, who also did not take tires, and those that took tires further back in the field. But this could save an extra set if we have a very late caution. Not sure. We'll figure out, I'm sure, from Dustin later on in the race what's going on with that pit strategy. Let us go ahead and focus on another close battle that's developing here. Norm Snyder closing in on Ron Schamer here. Or may have been the other way around, and I think Ron might have passed Norm a couple laps ago, as Norm has not been putting up that much faster lap times here. Ron Schamer's on speed with Dustin Reinsettle. And of course, Ron did go ahead and take tires on lap 51. Well, back up in the front here. We continue to watch on, and we'll change it right here. So we talk a little bit about, oh, we do have a caution. Just as I go ahead and get ready to talk about something, we've got ourselves a caution. Let's see what happened there. Looks like Robert Olavison found himself involved with something. What was that something? We're going to find out. Oh no, going into the turn, we have Chris Thaler. Oh, right on the nose here with him. The Bills are playing some basketball here. Charging penalty. Gets into that corner. I'm not sure if he misjudged Robert's timing there, but Robert Olavison getting the boot. Up the track he goes in that 22 machine. Not a fun look there as we continue to move on. Nobody else involved with that one there. Second caution of the night. Eric Thaler coming on in. Dustin's going to come in. Pretty much the entire field has gone ahead and committed to coming in. James Olavison, the only car out on track. He was lapped, so he'll get the wave around. Chris, involved in that incident, will not get a wave around. He is stuck behind that pace car. James will get back on the lead lap here. We'll see what happens. Everybody pitting right now. James is going to go ahead and pit here on lap 79. The race out of pit road. Eric Thaler beats Dustin out. Norm Snyder actually beats Dustin out as well. He only took fuel. So Eric's gone ahead and used both of his tires. Norm's only used one set of tires here. Dustin Reinsettle has used his first set of Goodyears that were in the pits. Ron Schamer has gone ahead and stayed on his one tire strategy so far, so he did not take tires. Jason Huffman will take his first set of tires. Clarence Prince, only with one set of tires used, he'll take fuel only there. Robert trying to get as much damage repaired as possible in that 22 machine. It's been in the pits for about 2 minutes. Not sure if he burned through a fast repair or not at some point in time. Panda James back in. He took tires. Not sure if he got a penalty where he's got to do a stop and go. Hopefully he adjusted his tire settings. Looks like he did. In and out goes the number 90. Maybe that was actually damage repair. Might as well repair where you're not going to go back a lap down. The lights are out on that Ford Mustang pace car as Eric Thaler goes to lead them to green flag action. Norm Snyder is going to be on the inside as Eric elects to take the top line. Dustin Reinsettle will be third, Ron Schaumer fourth, fifth is Jason Huffman, and sixth will be Clarence Prince. Seventh place will be James Olavison, and when they come back out, Robert will be in. I swear I'm missing somebody. There are 9 cars out on the track currently. There's James, there's Chris. Robert is still in the pits. That's what it is. Green flag flies as Eric Thaler goes. Looks like Ron slipped up a little bit there as he goes far to the outside. No competition for Eric Thaler as Norm Snyder just follows along. Everybody within 3 to 4 seconds. Clarence Prince side by side with Ron Schaumer back here. Chris Thaler and James Olavison were side by side. Not for long there. Clarence coming on up. The battle of the Supras. 3 wide. Chris Thaler making the pass. It's not for position, but passing a car. Clarence Prince unable to make any capitalize on that. Ron Schaumer will hold the position. Dustin Reinsettle getting around. Norm Snyder there as they go through turns 3 and 4. Norm on the inside. Dustin took tires. Eric did not. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Eric did take tires. My bad. Eric only has 1 set remaining here. As the early run, it's looking like Dustin Reinsettle battling for the lead here. On the inside, Jason Huffman putting his nose underneath the 15 machine. Dustin Reinsettle makes the pass. 8 lead changes tonight. As Dustin regains the lead, that number 11 Chevrolet. Jason Huffman takes second place from Eric Thaler. Eric's decided he's gotten a couple laps now. He's going to fall back a little bit and let these guys burn their tires now. Norm Snyder's got Chris Thaler as the battle for the old folks' home still heating up. Chris is 7 laps down, but don't let that fool you. If he finishes ahead, I'm sure he'll still hold it over Norm. Jason Huffman makes it around Dustin Reinsettle here. So they get on the back straightaway. Jason Huffman hoping to run away. Both these guys just took a set of tires during the last pit cycle. And Jason now makes it 9 lead changes. It's been a pretty interesting race. 2 cautions today so far. 88. We're on our lap 88. Of course, they're saying 6 lead changes. I say 9. So, whatever. I'm going to go with my number. I mean, I'm putting notes down on my noteboard. So, Jason Huffman will continue to lead there as we've completed 88 laps of the race. Let's talk about a little bit of the conditions going on. We didn't bring that up earlier in the broadcast here, but 68 degrees down in that Iowa cornfield. Winds light and variable, partly cloudy. Our conditions with 69% of humidity, brought to you by Christopher Hopper. Renowned author Christopher Hopper, Ruins of the Earth, available since 2020. I couldn't tell you what his latest book is, but he's got several series out there. He races with us in the Road Series, driving the number 69 machine. Again, nice. The gap for the lead has now increased up to 1.3 seconds, almost 1.4 seconds. A little bit further back now, James Olavison making a push here in the mid part of the race. He's up to third right now. Eric Thaler still dropping back, still eyeing those tires, keeping stuff going. Then behind him, Norm Snyder, Clarence Prince, starting to creep on into that 28's rear view, but somebody's plastered all over that number 83 Red Bull. Needing a big old sip. That's Sunoco on M97 Toyota Supra. The battle of the Supras continues at Iowa Speedway. 0.3 of a second back. This is for 6th place. And if they keep on gaining on Norm, it'll be a battle for 5th place. These guys hoping to get a top 5 finish tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if any of these guys finished in the top 5. Certainly earned that with the competition they've brought to this league. Speaking of competition brought to this league, let's talk about our league. Let's talk a little bit about what we have to offer here at Midwest-Motorsports.com. Besides the relatively clean racing you've seen up ahead, Norm Snyder having some issues here as the 83 and 97 have started to catch up to that number 28. Maybe he's looked out the penthouse window. I'm not sure. Maybe he's been eyeballing the Buffalo Bills game a little too hard. But Midwest-Motorsports.com has 3 different series for you to try. The sign-ups are always open, always free. You can sign up today, race with these guys the next time they're behind the wheel, which won't be next week. But either way, you've been waiting to get out of your boring old official series. You're tired of getting crashed into by whole bunch of crazy drivers that just want to win and don't know what they're doing. Feel free to join us at the link provided here on the screen, Midwest-Motorsports.com. 3 different series, including tonight's Stock Car Series with the Xfinity. We have the Road Series, which will be starting up pretty soon on Tuesday nights, and the Truck Series on Fridays. Tuesday nights, the race will be around 7 o'clock or so. Be the Road Series. They are going to be driving the Porsche P Cup car, the 922. It's a brand new Porsche car. The 992. So the schedule will be announced here within the next couple weeks or so. So tune in. We're planning on start week being this coming Tuesday, but that's most likely not going to happen. I'll let you know when it'll happen, as Ron Schaumer battling it out with Clarence Prince side by side down the front straightaway here. The battle of the Supras continuing. Unable to get the momentum out of turn 4. Clarence Prince able to hold on to the spot. This is still your closest battle on track. On Friday nights, the Truck Series dominates our airways. We're 199 laps complete here. Next one will be 100. And that race usually begins green flag action at 9:55. Practice starts around 8:30 or so. And you can compete with many of our esteemed drivers you see today, as well as a whole host of other drivers on the oval side. Feel free to join in on there anytime and dethrone Dustin Reinstuttle. You didn't hear that from me. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, you can always join in on that one there. And Sunday nights at 8:25 Eastern, all times Eastern, by the way. You can join us here again. Currently, the current broadcast situation is going to be me on Friday and Sunday nights for the foreseeable future. James J. will be joining us once he's back to full health. Can't wait for that to happen. And Tuesday nights, we have the wonderful sounds of Adam Sondag and James J. presenting. Monday nights, currently on hiatus, but at some point it will start back up again. We have the Cool Down podcast presented by Antcaster. A whole bunch of guys from the league get together and talk what's going on in the league, what's going on in the real world, and all exciting things therein. Tune in at any of those times. Ron Schommer would appreciate it if you do, as he goes ahead and passes Clarence Prince on the front straight away. And, of course, join us so you can compete against us. We're all a great group of guys. Just want to help you guys out, learn some new tricks of the trade, ask questions, guys. Any of these drivers would be more than happy to tell you how best to drive, especially Dustin. Ryan Settle, he's a coach, so he knows a thing or two about teaching people. Ron Schommer getting ready to compete himself for 5th place against Norm Snyder. He's finally caught up to that number 28 Ferris tractor Ford. There he goes on the outside. Does he have the momentum coming out of turn 3 and 4? It looks like he does. He will have the spot up to 5th place. Goes the number 97. Eric Thaler has made it around James Olavison and has closed in on Dustin Reinsettle, who's not leading the race right now. That's Jason Huffman, who paid the pass earlier. Iowa Speedway, again, from what we talked about earlier, is Dustin wasn't too sure about this track. It's a flat track. Usually Eric Thaler is the king of flat tracks, but Jason Huffman's making a pretty good case about why he should be in that discussion as well. Again, the pit strategy is going to be the big factor. So, you keep yourself clean in the pits, you've got a good shot. Another thing I kind of wanted to announce as well during the airwaves tonight, as we've well past the 100 lap mark, we're now on 108, 107 laps down, is that this coming week will be the iRacing 24-hour race at Daytona. The admin team is going to be competing most likely Friday night. You can come on in here and watch a little bit of the action, as I will be trying to broadcast some of that race. Taking a little break from racing the 24 myself, as I've done the past several seasons. So tune in and join in on the fun there. If any of you are listening or watching and interested in potentially joining in on the broadcast and you currently race with us, feel free to drop me a line. I'd be more than happy to talk about that situation. But if you're out there in the real world, outside of the sim, and are curious about any of those things, you follow that link that was on the screen earlier. It'll give you all the details to sign up to the Discord, and you could talk with us there. We have a very active road series as well, so plenty of road guys out there that are more than excited to talk to any newcomers on the road course side of things. Eric Thaler has dropped his gap to half a second. Ron Schomer has decided to come on down pit lane, so Clarence Prince will take the spot back. So will Norm, as pit windows are opening back up here pretty soon. We've gone ahead and gone past lap 111. It's lap 112. I mean, it's still a little bit of time. You know, you've got, say, about, I don't know, 8 laps or so. Trying to do the math in my head here. Eric Thaler trying to do the wall. Add some battle wounds to that number 15. I guess it looks better in pit lane with battle wounds. I mean, just look at Terry Labonte, that number 5 machine way back in the day when Dale decided he was going to rattle his cage. And that being Terry Labonte. Still trying to brain out the numbers, so you're still going to have to pit. from this point here, you're still going to have to pit. We've determined cars can get about 50 or so laps on fuel, so the magic number is about lap 125. We're 11 laps away from that now, because again, it's not just enough to get to lap to 175. You have to finish lap 175 as well in order to finish the race. So, can these guys eke it out? We'll see. Eric Thaler's backed off a little bit from this battle here. Jason Huffman 2 whole seconds ahead of Dustin Reinsettle. And I'm pretty certain, folks, that the clutch work is on right along here with Eric Thaler right behind Dustin Reinsettle. Nope, no clutch in through 3 and 4. Eric getting a little slideways there coming on out. That car's steering getting messed with a little bit from all the wall banging. Now Eric's already gone through 2 sets of tires, so it's not like his set of tires are any more worn than Dustin or Eric's or Jason's. Ron Schaumer making a beeline there as he went ahead and pit already. He's only a lap down, but he took a set of Goodyear Eagles during his pit stop. That's his second set of the race. He'll get past Dustin Reinsettle no problem at all. Eric holding on to it at turns 3 and 4. Ron Schaumer looking to get around. So this is an interesting play by Ron Schaumer. He's going to have to short pit here in order to have a shot at winning this race, and that's short pitting at least by lap 125, maybe even lap 130. Ooh, Eric holding real hard onto that machine. Dustin is clutching though. You could hear that noise right there. So he's going through those corners. Clarence Prince has gone a lap down, and Ron quickly passes by him as he does not want to be outside of the lead lap. Have a chance. Clarence Prince way high in that corner, letting Dustin go by. Speaking of Ron Schaumer, as he's closing in on Jason Huffman, Jason's catching up to Norm Snyder. Ron Schaumer, just get me out. Get me away from here. I want to be on the lead lap. I'm going to compete with Norm. He's on the apron. Whew. So, Ron Schaumer actually is now a lap down. I'm not sure what's going on with the timing for a quick minute here. Jason Huffman, though, has lapped Norm Snyder. Norm is the first car lap down. I apologize. I thought Ron was... Well, I thought he was just 1 lap down. He was 2. So he's going to go around the lead cars one more time. Jason Huffman right in front of Norm Snyder gets in down pit lane. Dustin Reinsettle will take the lead back. Getting ready to lap the... lap Norm. Clarence Prince has gone ahead and joined Jason Huffman down pit road. Dustin and Eric still duking it out. And we're closing in, so unfortunately I think Jason is going to really have to clutch. He's going to have to save some fuel towards the end of that run because he's not going to be able to make it to the end of this race. It's going to be real tight if he does. Had a new microphone. Came in this morning. I feel like I'm eating it right now, but hopefully it's better quality experience. Some of the guys in the chat were telling me that it was good. Eric Thaler making the pass here on Dustin Reinsettle on lap 126. And he's flying away with it. Was sitting behind Dustin for the longest time. I figured he just decided to accept taking that position here. And this will be our 11th pass for the lead, our lead change in the race. So these guys have passed the threshold. They can pit now and be all set for the rest of the race. Of course, everybody has not used all their tires. It is going to be tight, though. Chris back in. Jason Huffman went ahead and used a set of tires that pit stop. Norm Snyder. Oh, I'm sorry. He did not pit yet. Ron Schamer put on a second set of tires. I'm just making my notes here. Prince Pitt, he took tires, and now Dustin's coming on in. See if he takes tires as well. James Olevison has decided to come on down pit lane also. Eric Thaler continues to lead. Norm Snyder a lap down, so everybody else is a lap down. Jason Huffman, though, just set the fastest lap time of the race. Now Eric Thaler comes on in. James Olevison's going to go ahead and use another set of tires. Jason Huffman sets a new fast lap, 23.682. As he's going around the racetrack, Eric Thaler getting ready to actually get into his box. Dustin Reinsettle using a set of tires. Eric Thaler going to use his final set. Norm Snyder on in. He's going to go ahead and use another set. Jason Huffman takes the lead away from Eric Thaler. See how far Jason gets. 12 lead changes. Jason Huffman resumes the lead. Caution flag is out. This could change everything, folks. All right, let's see what happened. What's going on? No, the caution was out there. Oh, my own personal spotter has told me some news. I didn't think it was possible. Jason Huffman has come on down pit road. He's going to pit. Eric Thaler's staying on out, by the way. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the pit strategy here. Jason and Ron Schomer are pitting during the pace laps. Dustin Reinsettle going slideways into 1 and 2. Don't see this very often. It's a little early for the victory burnout there, Dustin. No harm, no foul for the number 11 machine. Of course, those are new tires that are on that vehicle. So he rolls up the track. Yellow flag will be flown. He's going to hold it up there for traffic to go by. And that is how it's done. You won't see that in officials anytime soon. Join a league and make that midwest-motorsports.com. Back to live action here. Eric Thaler is currently your leader as he chose to stay out. And I have our 13th lead change of the race. Third time the caution flag has waved here at Iowa Speedway for the 175 lap event. Eric Thaler, your current leader. Oop, that's not what I wanted to click on. It's been your leader here for 36 laps. Looks like James Olevison's hoping to get around. Oh, no, he's in second place. Listed as second. Jason Huffman listed third. Clarence Prince. And it looks like Ron Schamer, then Dustin. Dustin is way back on the running order in 6th place. We'll see how well that goes. James Olivison leading for 4 laps today. Jason Huffman leading 70 laps. Ron Schaumer is making his way up the field. He has not led a lap yet. He'll be 4th, 5th. Dustin Reinsettle, who's only led 23 laps today. Complete surprise there for me. Jason Huffman has led the most today. The lights are off on the pace car. Eric Thaler going to go ahead and take the lead, or take the high line. Not the lead, he's already in the lead. And James will be on the inside to restart. 3rd place will be Jason Huffman. The J names are apparently tripping me up, guys. Chris Thaler back in the pits. He's going to come back out. Robert Olivison did decide to retire from the race around his lap 76. So, down to 8 cars on the field. Pace car is out. We get to the restart zone. Eric is control car. He is off to the races. James Olivison caught napping. Ron Schaumer up to 2nd place. Jason Huffman getting around. Norm Snyder. Oh, what happened to the 97 machine? Ron Schaumer dropping like a rock. I'm not sure what happened to him. We'll hear some more from our broadcast partners. Eric riding the wall there on the front straightaway as he's got a 1-second lead over Jason Huffman. Norm Snyder blocking for that number 15, it looks like. Oh. Well, he got caught napping and ended up with the 97 car passing by James Olivison before crossing the line. That is a black flag in the eyes of iRacing. And that is what that number 97 had to go in the pits for. Jason Huffman came into the pits, got a fresh set of tires on him. The guy who's been leading most of the race, he is now side by side. Aggressive pass here, digging deep into the corner, shoving Eric up to the wall. Will he get it? Jason gets the lap. We have now had 14 lead changes, and it's not going away anytime soon. Eric's holding on. Into the wall goes that 15 machine. How much more can that car get punished? Dustin Reinsettle has made his way up to 4th place from 6th place on that restart. James Olivison still sitting there in 3rd place, and he's going to battle with Eric Thaler side by side. He's getting a nose. 15 car all the way back up to the top of the racetrack. Number 90 sitting low. Going to stay on the inside. Nose ahead of the 15 there. Coming out of the corner, Chevy versus Ford, and another Chevy getting into the mix. Eric Thaler holding on to 2nd place. James trying to continue this battle as he's going in hot into the corners. Eric's coming out fast towards the end of them, though. The 90 unable to make that pass, but Dustin Reinsettle going to show him how it's done as he goes on the inside here. Side by side as they come to the line. James still has 3rd. Jason Huffman has gone to almost 2-second lead here as Dustin Reinsettle passes James Olivison, who touched the wall. Dustin now going to make a move. He's gone right past Eric Thaler. James Olivison not done yet with Eric Thaler. He's going to be on the inside on the front straightaway. He's got the whole move. Eric says, fine, you can have it, but I'll get it back now. Oh no, trouble as they both touch. James hit the wall. Eric tapped him right there in the back. Nowhere to go. James Olivison has the spot. Eric Thaler was going to battle for him, but not able to keep it up. He's going to hold back now. Clarence Prince. He wants a piece of this action here as he's duking it out with Norm Snyder. Norm on the inside of Eric. Eric's going to let him go by. Clarence is going to try to go by Eric as well. Lap 144. Clarence Prince, move him up the board. He's in fifth. Can't talk today. He's in fourth place now. So he continues to battle with Eric Thaler. That was a big blow to Ron Schamer. He's now 2 laps down after jumping that restart. .30 to go this time by. Jason Huffman over 2-second lead over Dustin Reinsettle and continues to increase. James Olavison trying to track down Dustin. That's getting a little tricky to do. Clarence Prince is hot on the heels of James Olavison, who's still battling it out with Norm Snyder, a lap car. Snyder is the first car 1 lap down, but trying to show everybody that he deserved to be up here. Situations were different. That caution not coming out when it did. This would probably be battle for position. Clarence Prince, right there, 1/10 of a second. He's going to put that nose on down. Can Norm get going? Or is this going to be 3 wide here? Eric's trying to start to make a move now. 28 to go. He's got to get clicking. If he wants to battle for the lead, Clarence makes it past James. That's for 4th place. Eric Thaler says, you know what? I'm going to the front now. As he goes by James Olavison, he's going to try and battle and try to take 4th place away from Clarence. He's got his nose ahead coming out of the corner. What a run here as Eric has passed 2 for 1 in 1 lap. And he's going to try and chase back down the rest of the field. Dustin Reinsettle is about 5 seconds ahead of Eric Thaler. Still 2 seconds back, though, of Jason Huffman. So it's a 7-second gap that Eric needs to close in on if he wants a shot to win. He's at least got a podium on the line right here. So we'll see. Norm Snyder currently well ahead of Chris Thaler in the battle for the Oval Folks home. And Norm sitting ahead of his... that's not quite accurate. Norm sitting ahead of the godfather of Midwest Motorsports. Chris Thaler going on the inside of James Olavison here as he's trying to make a point. Say, you know what, if I pass Norm, that means I win the battle. Eric gets around here. We got 5 to go. Dustin finally has knocked the lead down under 2 seconds. Jason Huffman, let's get up to the front here in that number 4 Ford Mustang. He's led the way for most of this race. Believe it or not, he's had the lead for 85 laps. It's really only the last one that counts, and he's hoping he could be that guy right there, the last one. Or the first one past the line the last lap. Dustin Reinsettle closing in, though, just under 1.9 seconds. His overall lead to Eric Thaler has finally dropped under 7 seconds, so these two are closing. During the last pit cycle, Dustin did not take any tires. I think he just came back in and got... No, he took tires. He took tires and got some more fuel. A second time through, and that's why he ended up in 6th place. Just topped it off there. So Dustin doesn't have to worry about clutching. He doesn't have to worry about trying to make it. Meanwhile, Jason Huffman, well, he pit in lap 31, so he doesn't have to worry about it. Earlier, though, before that caution, we did have some concerns about that because he pit before that magic marker. 20 laps to go. The lead is fluctuating again. It was going down, came back up a little bit. It's at 1.78. Eric Thaler has dropped that down to 6.6. His overall distance to Dustin is under 5 seconds. But those laps are clicking by. We're now at 19 to go. Has anybody got anything for Jason Huffman now? I don't know if Jason's going to catch up to lap traffic anytime soon. For them to be a factor in this. No other battle is any closer than this right now. The only one that would be is with James Olevison and Clarence Prince. So that's 2.3 seconds now. Jason Huffman holding his lead pretty steady now with Dustin Reinsettle. But Eric Thaler's still steadily closing in. 17 laps to go. Oh boy, I'm counting. James, I'm sorry, bud. You come back, it's going to be a nightmare for you, huh? I'm going to start counting down. You're going to go, who's counting? Anyway, that lead for Dustin Reinsettle hasn't gotten any lower than 1.7. And it just did now. 1.65 just a moment ago. Eric Thaler now down 6.5 seconds. $15 to go. We're on lap 161. I'm going to put the track map back up so you can see the highlighted black dot. That is Jason Huffman. The green dot behind him, that is Dustin Reinsettle. And that kind of navy-ish, kind of purpley black color. Maybe I'm losing my eyes, but that one that's all by itself going into turn 1 right now, that is Eric Thaler. In third, then you've got that little grouping of cars just going into turn 1 right now is the rest of that field. And the last car there, I'm pretty sure that is Chris Thaler. Oh, nope, actually that's Ron Chalmer. It says number 7. That lead has dropped. Dustin's closing in. He knows he's only got a limited time offer right here. A limited window. 13 laps to go. 12 to go at the line. And it's down to 1.06. Mr. Reinsettle has found a groove. And oh boy, Eric Thaler's going, well, I don't have much time either. So he's dropped that lead down to 5.5. He just put down a 24.697, where Jason's at a 25.206. Dustin Reinsettle put down a 24.845. See what these guys did this time by 25.322 to a 24.844. The lead is now down to almost 0.6 to a half a second. James Olevison and Clarence Prince battling it out for 4th place right now as James is caught back up to the number 83. I dare not turn away because this could be the final pass for the lead. You never know. 10 to go. 10 to go. Jason Huffman really hoping that this timeline changes. He's got to hold off this charging Dustin Reinsettle. And no one else is back here to do anything about it. He's steadily closing up to Ron Chalmer, who's in 7th place. 9 to go this time by. And Dustin Reinsettle within 0.2 of a second. Defensive driving, that's all Jason's got now to keep himself in the lead. Can he do it for 9 whole laps? Eric Thaler's just not able to put it. I don't know what happened. Did some wall riding or something? He's going to put himself in that mid-groove right there. That's going to hold Dustin back for another lap. 8 to go. Can he do it again? He's going to pinch the exit. Dustin's stuck behind him. Now the trouble will be is if he could continue to hold this line, does Ron Schamer impact that? Because they're getting close to each other. James and Clarence battling, duking it out. I wish I could pass to them here, but this is just too close. Too close to move away. Dustin trying to see if he could find any way around this number 4 machine, but he's got himself on the right line for great defensive presence. Dustin's going to go on the inside here. He's got most of the car ahead. He's got the whole car. Ron Schamer into the wall. Dustin Reinsettle makes the pass. Jason Huffman crossover. Can he get that number 4 back? No, he cannot. Dustin Reinsettle leads the lap. 5 to go. Eric Thaler only able to get 4.9 seconds. Under 4.8 seconds now. Jason Huffman starting to fall back. Dustin Reinsettle has been pretty good on that long run speed, and I don't know if anybody's got anything for him at this point. It looked like it could have been an insurmountable gap. The fact that Dustin was back in 6th place earlier, it looked like that might have just been it for the 11 car to have a chance to win, but here he is back in the lead here at Iowa Speedway. He has not led the most laps today, but he is leading when it counts. Can he lead the 1 lap that does count? We'll find out. 3 laps to go. Jason Huffman leading the series coming into this race after Dustin went ahead and won last week. 2 laps to go. Nicholas Aslan and Ant Cast are the only other people to have won a race this season in the Stock Car Series. And Dustin Reinsettle has the white flag as he's increased that lead to 1.1. Something happened to Clarence Prince back there as he's back down to 6th. James Olafison steadily in 4th place. Eric unable to close that gap any further. Dustin Reinsettle comes in with the win. That is win number 7 for him in the Stock Car Series. Cars still continuing to go around the track right now, so I'm not going to pull up the grid for the results just yet, but the fireworks are going. Well, we didn't take... Okay, I'm not apparently allowed to click that button yet. Let me click it again. There we go, the results tab. As Dustin gets ready to do some burnouts here, Dustin Reinsettle comes home with the victory here tonight at Iowa Speedway. Jason Huffman comes in 2nd. 3rd is Eric Thaler. James Olafison finishes out in 4th place. That is the cars that were on the lead lap. Norm Snyder finishes 5th place. First car lap down. Clarence Prince 6th. Ron Schamer in 7th place. Chris Thaler in 8th. And Robert Olafison in 9th place. All right, we'll get back to that burnout in a minute, but we're going to go ahead and pull up our top 3 drivers finishing the race. So just ignore the ignore going backwards here for a few minutes. Oh, there we go. Somebody's going sideways here. And speaking of that, Eric Thaler got you up here in the booth. You got a copy.
Hey, Michael. Yeah, sure do. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Well, that was an exciting race, an exciting finish there, and I knew you were back there. I figured maybe you get moving there and find your way back to the front. Talk us through your race.
Well, yeah, I had kind of a strategy in my head a little bit to try to take tires first couple stops and see how it winds up at the end if there's enough fuel left or not. And I was on par with that pretty well. And of course, then the caution come out and restack the field, so my advantage there didn't help out at all. And had a nice run with with Dustin and James there, or sorry, and Jason, and um, just didn't pan out tonight. That's all right. There's a pretty good spot.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. I mean, you had some moments up in the front there, and we got a week off here for the stock car series, and we figured you'd be doing well here at Iowa. But Darlington Raceway is coming up, another interesting type of almost flatty kind of track there. You looking forward to the throwback weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. I do love running Darlington. I haven't run it in the I guess Riley's car in a while, but it's always been a fun one in trucks and in Cup Series. So I'm looking forward to it. See if I can get my bearings back in this car.
Absolutely. So yes, the both the Oval Series will be off this coming week with the iRacing 24-hour race coming on this weekend, and the Stock Car Series will be back here in at Darlington Speedway for the throwback race. So we'll see you then, Eric. Thank you for coming up here.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks everybody for watching.
Eric Thaler, everybody. All right, next up we have Jason Huffman, your second place finisher. Jason, you got a copy.
Yep, I'm right here.
All righty, Jason. Well, you had quite a big race today here, leading for most of the go. Can't talk today. Sorry about that. But anyway, it was wonderful to see you up front there and just kind of walk us through your mindset going in when that caution came out and you had that pretty big lead going into the final run there.
The caution actually kind of saved me based on the strategy because I was going to try to split that last stint into two just to use up all my tires and maybe I can lay down as fast laps as I can. And with Dustin and Eric saving there, so they only had to do one more, it was gonna play into their way till I guess Dustin stepped on it a little bit, but after that, it kind of put me back on the level playing field, and then I tried to set the lead and manage it, but Dustin did a pretty good job of managing the tires and pulled me in right there at the last few laps. I just needed a little bit more to save my tires, and maybe I could have held them off. But it was a fun battle between him, me, and Eric, and all the guys. It's pretty interesting track with the repave and the turns there.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a good time out there with you with the repave and this car specifically, and it was great seeing all you guys battling out for the lead. I tallied it up with 15 lead changes tonight, which is awesome, and I'm grateful for that. And I hope we get to see that at Darlington coming up.
Yeah, hopefully. Today felt pretty good with being able to lead a good chunk of the race and felt like my pace was a bit better than it had been the last couple weeks. So I'm looking forward to Darlington. I don't always run well there, but it's one of my favorite tracks.
Oh, awesome! And it looked like you minimized on your pit. It looked like everybody actually minimized on pit issues too, which was great.
Yeah, it was good considering how tight the entry is. You have to make a very hard left to make it.
Absolutely, those numbers seem to help right there. All right, everybody. Well, thank you, Jason, for joining us up here, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yep, thank you.
Jason F. and everybody. And last, but certainly not least, your race winner, Dustin Reinsettle. You got a copy with us.
Howdy, howdy.
All right. Well, Dustin, you found yourself in 6th place after that caution, that last caution came out, and
Oh yeah, who brought that one out?
we won't name names or anything. Nobody got called out in the broadcast. Nothing bad happened, but yeah, just walk us through how you went through that process. You figure you were going to be able to catch up and just
Well, just to start off, I apologize to Eric because we were having a great fuel saving battle, and at full speed, I felt like I was going to come out of the corner, kind of right behind him, with him still halfway through the pit exit. And I don't know. I've been sitting here watching the replay. I was on the clutch, and then I guess I was already back on the gas before I let off the clutch, and then it just, I don't know, it just nosedived and kicked around. I really haven't done that before, honestly, because I do a lot of green flag saving, but I guess not at Iowa on the first lap of or fresh tires, and just is what it is. Kind of sucks, but no, it would have been a really cool finish between me and Eric, and then it took me forever to get around him in the 90, and even Norm. Everybody was just kind of so close on tires, so I kind of just did whatever I had to do to get around them, and then I wouldn't say that I sat back, but I just tried to keep matching my pace because I remember in the very first end of the race I caught Huffman right at the end, but I couldn't pass him. So I just kept trying to figure out on that second run, like once I got to him, because I seen that I was starting to gain with about 10 to go, how I was going to do it. And then I just was able to kind of send it into the bottom and get it to stick. I'm not sure if he had to lift whenever we caught lap traffic there at the end of the corner too, but it would have been another good battle there too to the finish. But all together, really fun racing. Just happened to shoot myself in the foot and then figure it out after that, I guess.
shoot yourself in the foot. Well, I mean, if shooting yourself in the foot means that you get to go pit to victory lane and wave that checkered flag, well, I guess some of us got to do that more often. I don't know. You got that magic touch, but Eric Thaler did it too. He had an error and ended up winning a race here or there. Okay, I guess we kind of all have. Um, Speaking of pit strategy and everything, I was kind of curious. Earlier on in the race, you did not take tires. You saved one set of tires for the end. What kind of went in your thought process as you're figuring that out? I know sometimes you don't quite always think about what your pit strategy
Um,
is, but
I did not think about it at all until I realized I pit one lap earlier than Huffman, just making sure I came out of the pits before him. And then I did not realize Eric went 7 laps longer until about 10 more laps into that run. I was like, oh, you can probably cut it to 3 stops because I seen he took tires too. I'm always watching like Eric and Anthony because they usually are very good on strategy. So I was just watching when I seen him take tires. I knew he had saved a pretty good amount, and then he took tires again on the second stop, and I was like, okay, Eric thinks he can make it, so I need to figure out how I can make it, and just kept trying to stay with him however I could, and then it looked like I was going to be able to make it, maybe with just saving just a little bit on that last run. So that's why it would have been an awesome little trying to pass each other, stay ahead of one another, and still trying to clutch and save at the same time. So hate that I ruined that cool battle.
well, it got reignited later on in the race there. And at any rate, you got yourself your 7th win of the Stock Car Series season. And you got Darlington next up on the schedule. Obviously, we got that break in between with the Daytona 24 right smack dab in the middle of all that.
Yes, sir.
So you got yourself a. Well, actually, you debuted it last week. Are you still going to run with that throwback?
Yes, I believe so. Gonna have the junior Taco Bell scheme.
There we go.
All
All right,
right, thank
folks.
you, Mike.
That's our race winner, Dustin Ridesaddle. Thank you for joining us. And at this point here, folks, this is the end of the race. As we've talked about a little bit here, we've got a 1 week break in the action. So Friday and Sunday, we will have no races. But we will be back here Friday night, most likely. Just keep an eye on your YouTube for the Daytona 24. Do a little bit of broadcast fun action with that. In the meantime, for all of us here at MidwestMotorsports.com, in the broadcast booth and on the racing surface, my name is Mike Harris Jr. I have been your host. And for James J., stay in your lane.